If you have multiple sclerosis and access to the internet, then congratulations. You now have a very long and very confusing shopping list. Turmeric, magnesium, cold plunges, positive vibes, a special crystal that just so happens to be on sale this week. The internet is full of so many good ideas and some not so good ones. Some of these suggestions are genuinely helpful. Some of them are probably harmless, and some of them are just vibes, which are lovely but don't really do much for myelin. Have you ever gone down that rabbit hole, scrolling for hours, looking for that one magic thing? Here is the plan for today. We are going to look at some of the things that people with MS try. We will not be calling any of this a cure, because it is not. Okay, before we get into the good stuff, we have to do the important part. I am not a doctor. I am not your neurologist. I do not know your neurologist, although I bet they are a very nice person who works very hard. Therefore, nothing you read here is actual medical advice. Think of this as a conversation with a friend who has spent way too much time on Google, but with a slightly better filter for nonsense. These things we are about to discuss are add-ons. They are the side dishes, not the main course. They are adjuncts, not replacements for your disease-modifying therapies, DMTs. Your DMT is the big, heavy-duty tool working behind the scenes to slow the disease down. Everything else we talk about today is for symptom management and quality of life. Relief is not the same thing as reversal. Finding something that eases your pain for a few hours is wonderful, but it is not a cure. If you ever see something online that claims it can fix the lesions on your MRI, you should be very, very skeptical. If that same thing asks for a lot of your money and promises a secret that doctors are hiding from you, you should probably just run. Consider this your friendly neighborhood reminder to always talk to your actual medical team before you start any new supplement, diet, or therapy. They know you, your specific case of MS, and what other medications you are on. They can help you avoid dangerous interactions or things that might make your symptoms worse. Your healthcare provider is your partner in this journey, the captain of the ship. We are just looking at some of the cool gadgets you can have in your cabin to make the voyage a little more pleasant. So, with that legal but fun disclaimer out of the way, let's get to the fun stuff. Remember, the goal is to make life with MS more livable, not to perform a magic trick that makes it disappear. Anyone promising magic is usually just a skilled salesperson, and your health is far too important to be a sales target. We are looking for practical, safe, and evidence-informed ways to support your body and mind. It is about building a support system around your medical treatment, one that makes you feel more in control and more comfortable in your own skin. Now let's officially begin our tour of the weird and wonderful. Also, you absolutely have to stick around until the end. There is a simple, honest, and truly big idea waiting for you there. So, let's dive into the world of adjunct therapies, the weird stuff. The wonderful stuff, the stuff your neurologist probably rolls their eyes at. We are going to rank it all, not in a scientific way, but in a how likely is this to make your day a little bit better sort of way. This is about adding tools to your toolbox, not throwing out the ones your doctor gave you. It is about finding small comforts in a condition that often feels anything but comfortable. Think of this as a guided tour through the wild west of wellness, with a friendly, slightly goofy guide. The goal is to leave you feeling a little more empowered and a lot less overwhelmed by the sheer volume of information out there. MS is complicated enough without having to become an expert researcher on every herb and every new age practice being peddled online. We'll have little fun, share a few jokes, and hopefully, by the end, you'll feel more confident navigating these choices for yourself. The big reveal at the end isn't a miracle cure. It's something much more practical and I think much more valuable for the long haul. First up, let's talk about yoga and stretching. So many people with MS find real, tangible benefits from a regular yoga practice. Yoga can be incredibly helpful for improving balance, which can be a daily struggle. It also works on spasticity and general stiffness, gently encouraging your muscles to relax and lengthen. Beyond the physical, the focus on breathing and mindfulness in yoga can bring a profound sense of calm to a nervous system that is often on high alert. For people with MS, yoga may need a few small but important changes. Using props like blocks, blankets, and chairs can make poses more accessible and safer. Moving slowly and deliberately is key, as is giving yourself permission to rest whenever you need to. Yoga isn't a competition. A good practice can make daily life feel easier, from bending down to tie your shoes to reaching for something on a high shelf. It will not cure your MS, not even close. But having a calmer, more flexible body can make a massive difference in your day-to-day experience. Sometimes yoga with MS is just lying on the mat and focusing on your breathing. Loudly and with a great deal of purpose. And you know what? That totally counts. Next in this category is massage therapy. Massage is fantastic for easing muscle tension that builds up from spasticity, compensating for weakness, or just the general stress of living with a chronic illness. It can lower stress hormones and provide temporary relief from pain. Now, that short-term relief is still incredibly important. A reduction in pain that allows you to get one good night of sleep is worth its weight in gold. Massage is generally very safe, but it is crucial to communicate with your therapist. Let them know you have MS and point out any areas with weakness, numbness, or altered sensation. It is wise to avoid deep pressure on areas that are numb, as you cannot give accurate feedback about the pain or pressure levels. Finding a therapist who has experience working with clients who have neurological conditions can be a huge plus. They will understand the nuances and be better equipped to help you without causing any harm. Does massage cure MS? No, of course not. Does it cure my bad mood after a frustrating day of symptoms? Absolutely. 100% yes. It's a powerful tool for feeling better, even if just for a little while. Now we enter a category where science and personal experience can sometimes feel like they are in a chaotic dance temperature therapies. Let's start with the cool side of things. Many people with MS are sensitive to heat. Even a small rise in core body temperature can temporarily and dramatically worsen symptoms, a phenomenon known as Uthoff's phenomenon. Cooling vests, cold showers, strategically placed fans. Cooling vests are practical tools designed to help keep your body temperature down, allowing you to function better on hot days or during exercise. A quick cold shower running cold water over your wrist can sometimes help you feel better almost instantly. These things are not glamorous or trendy. They are not about biohacking or pushing your limits. For someone with MS, they are often essential pieces of survival gear when the thermometer starts to climb. For us, a cold plunge isn't a wellness trend we saw on Instagram. It's just called Tuesday in July. This is about survival, not about getting likes on a post. On the flip side, we have heat therapy, saunas, heating pads. This is where things get a bit more complicated. For some people, gentle heat can be incredibly soothing for muscle pain and tightness. A warm heating pad on an aching back or sore legs can provide significant comfort. However, for others, the same heat that soothes muscles can trigger that dreaded worsening of other neurological symptoms. Fatigue, blurry vision. Some people might feel great after a very short session in a sauna, while others will feel completely wiped out and unwell for hours afterward. If you are going to experiment with heat, you must do so with extreme caution. Start with a very short amount of time and a much lower temperature. Above all, listen to your body and see how it reacts. Make sure you stay well hydrated with plenty of water and take breaks as needed. The most important rule here is to pay very close attention to your body's signals. For someone with MS, heat therapy is like playing roulette. You should probably only spin the wheel when you know the rules and are prepared for any outcome. Welcome to the aisle of the health food store that requires a healthy dose of skepticism, or as I like to call it, side-eye time. Let's talk about supplements. First up is magnesium. This mineral can be genuinely helpful for some common MS-related issues like muscle cramps, spasticity, nighttime leg spasms. It may also help with sleep. However, the dosage really matters. Taking too much magnesium can lead to some, let's say, digestive urgency, stomach upset, loose stools. It is also vital to talk to your doctor before starting it. They need to check if it might interact with any of your other medications. Some prescription drugs can affect your magnesium levels. They can recommend a safe starting dose and the right form of magnesium for you. Take a little too much magnesium, and your day suddenly takes a very digestive turn. You have been warned. It's effective, but it demands respect. Next, let's group a few popular ones. Turmeric, omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D. People often take turmeric, or its active compound curcumin, for its anti-inflammatory properties. Some small studies have shown potential but modest benefits. Omega-3 fatty acids found in fish oil are generally considered good for brain health and overall wellness. And vitamin D is particularly important. Many people with MS have low levels of vitamin D, and there's a lot of research exploring the link between vitamin D and immune function. Your neurologist will likely check your levels and may recommend a specific dose. But here is the big warning for this entire category. The word natural does not mean harmless. Supplements can and do interact with prescription medicines. The quality of supplements can also vary wildly from brand to brand, with some containing very little of the active ingredient they promise. If you see a post on Facebook claiming that a specific supplement can cure MS, that post is lying to you, or the person who wrote it is very confused, or most likely it's both. Category number 4, mind-body therapies, not just positive thinking. Let's move on to a category that is often misunderstood: mind-body therapies. This is not just about thinking positive and hoping for the best. These are active strategies for managing the immense psychological and emotional toll of living with a chronic illness. First, let's talk about meditation and mindfulness. Regular meditation practice can be a game changer for managing stress and anxiety. It can actually change how your brain perceives and responds to pain signals. It also helps improve mood. It helps with the insomnia that so often accompanies MS. Meditation does not fix your damaged nerves. It will not repair myelin. But what it can do is make the bad days feel shorter and less overwhelming. It gives you a tool to create a small pocket of calm in the middle of a symptom storm. If you are new to it, start small. Try a 5-minute guided meditation using one of the many great apps available. A small, consistent daily practice is often much more beneficial than trying to sit for an hour once a week. Meditation doesn't fix my misfiring nerves, but it definitely makes me less angry about them. Now let's look at music, art, humor. These are not frivolous distractions. They are powerful therapeutic tools. Engaging with music or art can help people process complex emotions that are often hard to put into words. It can relax the mind and provide a much-needed escape from the constant focus on symptoms and limitations. And humor, whether you're finding it or creating it for yourself, is an incredibly potent coping mechanism. A good, hearty laugh releases endorphins and can cut through stress like a hot knife through butter. It can even provide a short-term reduction in pain perception. Community programs that use art therapy or music therapy can provide a huge boost to mood. They can also reduce the social isolation that can come with MS. These things are not small or insignificant. They are not magic, but they are real tools that support your mental and emotional well-being, which is directly tied to your physical well-being. Laughter is not the best medicine. My DMT is the best medicine, but laughter is a fantastic and highly effective coping strategy with zero negative side effects. The red flags. Protect yourself. This is arguably the most important section. We need to talk about the red flags. Protect yourself from misinformation. Protect yourself from predatory claims. The first and biggest red flag is bold, definitive claims. Anything that says it reverses MS is a major red flag. Anything that promises to eliminate lesions or tells you that you can replace your neurologist with their program. MS is complex and chronic. There are no secret, simple cures. Beware products shrouded in secrecy. If they use phrases like a secret cure they don't want you to know or require you to join a private, paid group to learn the details, be extremely wary. Science is an open process. Peer-reviewed, published research. Collaborative work among scientists and doctors worldwide, not mystery boxes sold on the internet. If a cure requires you to quit your prescribed medications first, say no and walk away. That is incredibly dangerous advice. Another huge red flag is a high price tag combined with a lack of evidence. If a program costs thousands of dollars and relies on personal testimonials instead of robust clinical data, you should be suspicious. Ask for the evidence. Ask to see the published studies. Ask about the potential side effects and risks. A legitimate therapy will have clear, accessible information. If someone tells you doctors don't want you to know this, what they are really saying is this is a sales pitch, not science. Your health is your most valuable asset. Protect it fiercely from those who see it as a business opportunity. Remember that the people who understand MS the best are the researchers and clinicians who dedicate their entire careers to studying it. They are your best and most reliable source of information. It is okay to be hopeful and to explore things that might help you feel better, but that hope should be paired with a critical eye. Do not let your desire for relief make you vulnerable to those who would exploit it. Trust the process of science. Trust your medical team. And trust your gut when something sounds too good to be true. All right, a quick break. Important message. If this conversation has made you feel seen or helped you make sense of the noise out there, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. If you laughed at any of the terrible jokes or learned one new thing that helped, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to be sure you don't miss our future conversations, hit that notification bell. We're building a community here. We'd love for you to be a part of it. Tell us in the comments one thing you've tried that has really helped you. Or even better, tell us about one odd thing you tried that was a complete and total flop. We can all learn from each other's experiences. The wins and the fails. Your engagement helps us build a space where people can share information safely and feel a little less alone. Every subscription, every comment, it signals that this straightforward, non-sensational content is valuable and needed. It helps us cut through the algorithm and reach the person who might be up late at night, scrolling and feeling overwhelmed. So thank you for being here and for being part of this community. Now back to our final thoughts. And remember, that big reveal is coming up next. It's the simple truth that I think ties all of this together. It's not a product or a secret. It's a perspective that can hopefully make this whole journey feel a little more manageable. Thanks again for sticking with me. The honest takeaway and big reveal. So we have talked about a lot of different things. We have covered yoga massage, cold showers, supplements, and the power of a good laugh. The most honest takeaway from all of this is that alternative or complementary therapies are not really about fixing MS. They are about making life with MS more livable. It is about finding ways to sand down the rough edges of this disease. Small changes and small comforts can add up to a significant improvement in your quality of life. One therapy might be a miracle for one person and do absolutely nothing for another. What helps is deeply personal. It is perfectly okay if something that everyone raves about doesn't work for you. It is also okay to try something for a little while and then decide to quit because it is not worth the effort or the side effects. The goal is not perfection. The goal is not to find a magic bullet. The goal is simply to have better days more often. It is a process of trial, error, and discovery, and you are the lead scientist in the experiment of your own well-being. And now for the big reveal. It is not some secret herb or a forgotten ancient practice. It is a simple truth. Here is the big idea. The single best alternative therapy is a layered approach. There is no one thing. The best strategy is to build layers of support. You start with the non-negotiable base layer, your neurologist, your DMTs, if they are recommended for you. That is your foundation. On top of that, you add the practical layers, prioritizing sleep, finding nutrition that makes you feel good, and incorporating gentle movement into your day. Then you add the targeted tools as needed. A cooling vest for a hot day, magnesium for muscle cramps after talking to your doctor, a massage for tight shoulders. Finally, you add the mind tools, meditation for stress, music for your soul, humor for your spirit. It is these layers, all working together, that make daily life better. No single thing is going to fix everything, but many small things, thoughtfully combined, can make life significantly easier and more joyful. That is the secret. It is not one thing, it is everything together. MS can feel incredibly isolating, and the search for relief can be exhausting. Finding one small tool that helps can feel like a monumental victory. Please know that you are not doing MS wrong. You are simply learning what works for your unique body and your unique life. Try things safely. Talk to your doctor. Keep the things that make your life kinder and more comfortable. Drop the things that do not. And please, laugh whenever you can. It really, really helps. What alternative therapy has helped you the most on your journey? What was a total flop? And what was something weird that you tried that was surprisingly useful? Please share your short story in the comments below. Be kind. Be respectful. Let's listen to each other. Your experience could be the one thing someone else needs to hear today.